Good morning to each of you, and happy Mother's Day to everyone, to all the mothers and to all the women and who have impacted our lives in such a powerful way. We celebrate the joy of this wonderful moment. We thank God for all of the mothers and the women and the sisters and the aunties and the teachers and the friends who have made a lasting impact on our lives. And let me thank God for my mother, Miss Bessie Mae Smith in Huntsville, Alabama. She's 86 years young. And I thank God for my mom. She is a blessing. She's an angel. She's a source of power and source of strength, and we celebrate her today. Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much. I also want to thank you for your prayers. My auntie passed last Sunday, Auntie Irene Roach. She was 94 years old, lived a long, prosperous, and great life. And we thank you for your prayers for Auntie Irene. And we thank God for her legacy and for her encouragement and wisdom over the years. Let us pray. God, we thank you for all of the mothers and all of the women who have impacted our lives and given us strength, encouragement, joy, and who blessed us with their faith. And because of them, we will never be the same. Amen. For a few minutes, I would like to call your attention to John chapter 19. The Gospel of John chapter 19, verses 25 through 27. The Gospel of John chapter 19, verses 25 through 27. Now I'll read these verses as follows. John chapter 19, verses 25 through 27. Verse 25. Near the cross of Jesus stood his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. Verse 26. When Jesus saw his mother there and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to her, "Woman, here is your son." And to the disciple, "Here is your mother." And from that time on, the disciple took her into his home. Jesus and his mother. For a few minutes, Jesus and his mother. In John's gospel, it is very interesting that Mary is mentioned 2 times. She shows up on the scene twice. Chapter 2, she's at the wedding celebration. And in chapter 19, she's at the cross. Both times, both moments, she's standing with Jesus. In chapter 2, the wedding celebration in Cana of Galilee, she's standing with Jesus as he performs his first miracle. And then in chapter 19, she stands with Jesus at the cross on Calvary. When John mentions Mary, is 2 occasions. At the wedding, chapter 2, at the cross, chapter 19. And every time, Mary is standing with Jesus. That's number 1. Mary stands with Jesus. She stands with him in chapter 2, stands with him in chapter 19. She stands with him at the beginning of his miracle, stands with him at the end of his ministry. She stands with him during a good season, and stands with him during a bad time. Mary stands with Jesus no matter what the setting circumstances are. She's standing with her son. She's standing with Christ. At the wedding celebration, as you remember and as you know, the wedding runs out of wine. And as the wedding runs out of wine, Mary turns to the servants and she says, do whatever he tells you. She has quiet confidence in Jesus' gifts and talents. And she tells the servants, do whatever he tells you. You're running out of wine. You're coming up short. And she tells the servants, do whatever he tells you. Mary has quiet confidence in Jesus' gifts and abilities. And when the wedding celebration is running out of wine, she tells the servants, do whatever he tells you. And I can hear Mary's advice today, advice coming from a wise mother. When our lives are at the point where we're running out of stuff, running out of joy, running out of strength, running out of faith, Mary's words ring true right now. Do whatever he tells you. And when our lives are at the point we're running out of money, running out of jobs, running out of health, running out of strength, I can hear Mary's words right now. Do whatever he tells you. And during this moment, thank God for mothers who have quiet confidence in the gifts of their children. Mary, while standing with Christ, doing the first miracle of his ministry, she gives off a sentiment of quiet confidence. It's a blessing to have a mother who has quiet confidence in the gifts of their children. There's nothing more blessed than to have a mother who knows how to encourage their children. If that child needs to hear a word of confidence coming from anybody, it needs to be from that mother. And the words of encouragement that goes to that child from that mother, and it's a word of encouragement, a word of faith, a word of joy, a word of strength. It does wonders to the self-esteem of that child. Every child has a thirst to hear a word of confidence from that mother. A word of confidence, a word of encouragement, a word of joy, because it molds the faith and the self-esteem of that child. And Mary gave off quiet confidence in the gifts and talents of Jesus. She told the servants, since you're running out of wine and you're coming up short, do whatever he tells you. She stands with Jesus in Cana of Galilee at his first miracle, and she stands with him at the cross. When the world had convicted him and labeled him a criminal, Mary stands by the cross. When the justice system now goes through the act of executing him, Mary stands by the cross. The cross could not keep Mary from standing with her baby. Thank God for mothers who will stand with you in tough times. Thank God for mothers. When the world views us in a negative way, mother will stand by your side. Thank God for a mother who has the tenacity and the boldness to stand with us and stand by us when you're going through a season of public embarrassment. But mother stands right there. Mother stands by your side. Mother stands with you in the pain. Mother stands with you in the hurt. How many folk been blessed to have a mother who stood by us even when we were going through a tough time? I can look back over my life right now, and I thank God for my mother who stood with me during good times and stood with me during bad times. I thank God for a mother who will stand with you, who will stand with you at the beginning and stand with you at the end. Thank God for a mother who does not know anything else but to stand by our side. Mary stood by Jesus at the beginning of his ministry. Mary stood by Jesus at the end of his ministry. Mary stood by Jesus during a good time of his life. And Mary stood by Jesus during the tough times of his life. Thank God for mothers who will stand by us no matter what. That's number one. Mary stood by Jesus. Number two, Jesus takes care of Mary. Jesus takes care of Mary. Christ is on the cross and he sees Mary, his mother, and he sees John, the beloved disciple. And Jesus takes charge of the situation. And he gives direction on how his mother will be covered and comforted before he dies. Let me run that back. Jesus takes charge of the situation and he gives direction on how his mother will be covered and made comfortable before he departs. He says, woman, Mary, mother, behold your son, John, your new son. He says, John, behold your mother. He said, John, I want you to take care of my mother. In other words, Jesus takes charge of the situation and gives direction on how his mother will be covered and made comfortable before he leaves the earth. That's a powerful moment. That's a powerful act. While on the cross, he takes charge. Now, that's a message for each of us. We have to make sure that we take charge of the situation and we give direction on how our loved ones will be covered and comforted before we leave here. That means right now, if you don't have a will, a living will, get one. And you put that in place. And you make sure, we have to make sure that we take charge and give direction on how our loved ones will be covered and made comfortable before we leave this earth. Take charge of that and give direction. We don't want to leave this earth and then have the state involved in our affairs. You don't want to leave this earth and everything we own gets wrapped up in probate court. No, 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 no. Jesus took charge of the situation and gave direction on how his mother would be covered and made comfortable. You have to take charge of that. If you don't have a will, get one this week, get one tomorrow. Take charge of that and give direction on how your family will be covered and made comfortable before we leave here. Somebody shout, take charge of that. Now, I want you to follow something here that really caught me. Jesus took charge of that and made sure his mother was covered and made comfortable. He put her in the hands of John, his beloved disciple, that he trusted. And John, from that point, took her home with him, and he took care of Mary. But it's very interesting to me that Jesus shows us the importance of blessing your mother. The importance of blessing your mother. On the cross, he blesses his mom. 3 days later, he's resurrected. I'm going to say that one more time. On the cross, he takes care of his mother. He blesses her. right? 3 days later, he's resurrected. Paul put it like this. I like how Paul puts it. Paul says in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 2, Paul says it like this. He says, honor your father and your mother, for this is the first commandment with a promise. And the promise is this: when you bless your mother, God will make sure things go well with you, and you'll have a good long life on earth. In other words, when we bless mama, God will take care of us. There's nothing more tragic than when we go through life and we don't take care of mama. There's nothing more horrendous than to go through life and we disrespect mama. We downplay mama. We denigrate mama. And we put mother down. Let it never be said that we disrespected our mother. Because when we disrespect mother, we shut off our blessings. When we disrespect our mother, we cut off God's ability to bless our lives. In other words, what I like about the story, after Jesus blessed Mary, 3 days later, he was resurrected. That means when you bless mama, there's a miracle in your future. When you take care of mama, there's a miracle coming up around the corner. When you take care of mama, God gonna take care of you. There's some blessings that we get because we're covered by mama's faith. There's some blessings that come our way. Mama praying for us, mama sacrificing for us, mama loving us when nobody else cares about us. A lot of us are being blessed through the mother's faith, a mother's love, and a mother's grace. And I don't know about you. Don't go through life disrespecting mama. Because when you bless mama, God will bless you. When you take care of mama, God will take care of you. Can I get a witness? Anybody here can testify. You being blessed right now because you had a good mama who prayed for you, who loved you, and who was there for us when we were not there for ourselves. So as we go through life, what I like about what Jesus did on the cross, while he's on the cross, he blessed mama. And 3 days later, he got up. Maybe there's a miracle in our future because you're blessing mama right now. Well, I got to go. Thank you, mama. Thank you, Bessie Mae Smith. Thank you for all the mothers, sisters, aunties, and teachers who have blessed our lives. And we make a commitment to bless mama. And when you bless mama, God gonna bless you. Can I get a witness? Somebody say yeah. I'll see you next Sunday. God bless you. Peace. Happy Mother's Day.